The American car dealership, once a temple of consumer aspiration and a barometer of economic health, has entered an era of unprecedented paradox. Glimmering rows of unsold vehicles bake in the sun, their window stickers fading alongside the prestige of the badges they bear. But before we begin, consider this: what will guide your next car purchase? Brand legacy or demonstrable value? The answer to that question is precisely why these 8 brands are fighting for their lives. Number 8. Mazda. The perils of an identity crisis. Mazda's ambitious multi-year journey upmarket has hit a roadblock made of its own contradictory ambitions. For years, the Japanese automaker meticulously worked to shed its economy car image, positioning itself as a purveyor of affordable luxury. Marketing campaigns waxed poetic about the Kodo soul of motion design language, premium interior materials, and driving dynamics that promised a BMW-esque experience without the Bavarian price tag. It was a seductive narrative. You could be sensible and sophisticated. Dealers report inventory levels 40% above forecasts, with lots stocked with unsold CX-30s, CX-5s, and CX-50s. The response has been a cascade of unprecedented discounts. The CX-50, engineered and marketed as a rugged premium offering, is now seeing price cuts of up to $3,500, a clear signal of weak demand that directly contradicts its aspirational positioning. Number 7. Volkswagen, a legacy of broken trust. The people's car has become the people's problem. Beyond the ethical breach, the ownership experience has done little to mend fences. Volkswagen repair costs remain stubbornly high compared to key Asian competitors, with parts availability often delayed and dealership service experiences, well, notoriously inconsistent. Online forums are replete with tales of frustration, turning once proud owners into vocal critics. The brand's desperation is most evident in its pricing strategy for the ID series, the electric vehicles meant to herald its cleaner, smarter future. The ID4, a competent electric SUV, is being discounted by up to $7,500 beyond federal incentives, a fire sale tactic that, honestly, screams of poor consumer reception. Number 6. Mitsubishi. The slow-motion exit. If automotive brands were patients, Mitsubishi would be in palliative care. The entire United States lineup consists of just a handful of forgettable crossovers, the Outlander, Eclipse Cross, and Outlander Sport, that make no meaningful impact in their segments. The cruelest blow was the resurrection of the legendary Eclipse name, not for a thrilling coupe, for a bland crossover. This move alienated the brand's remaining enthusiasts without attracting new buyers. Mitsubishi is shackled by a persistent cheap import stigma, a perception so potent it functions as a self-fulfilling prophecy. Consumer studies show that even shoppers who can't name a single Mitsubishi model still categorize the brand as a budget, last resort option. This perception traps the company in a vicious cycle. It cannot command prices that would fund competitive research and development, and without standout products, it cannot justify higher prices. Number 5. Chrysler, a brand on life support. The Chrysler brand's reduction is historically unprecedented for a non-specialty American marque. The iconic 300 sedan is gone, leaving a century of legacy resting on the shoulders of a family hauler. This isn't streamlining, it's a brand on life support. This extreme product poverty has forced a pathological dependency on fleet sales. Dealers report that up to 60% of Pacifica sales go directly to rental companies. While this keeps the lights on, a fleet-heavy strategy is the kiss of death for residual value and brand prestige, relegating Chrysler to the background of airport lots. Most damning of all is the silence from parent company Stellantis, which remains conspicuously non-committal about any future product roadmap for Chrysler beyond vague electrification buzzwords. Number 4. Infiniti. The luxury pretender. Infinity's fall from grace in the luxury segment has been a masterclass in how to squander relevance. While competitors like Genesis and Lexus have revolutionized interiors and technology, Infinity's updates feel like, well, just mild refreshes of decade-old designs. Models like the QX60 and Q50 are years behind in infotainment, driver assistance tech, and material quality. The financial mechanics of Infiniti ownership reveal the depth of the problem. Leasing, which is really the lifeblood of luxury sales, has collapsed because the car's resale values are in freefall, trailing competitors by 15 to 20%. After 3 years. This makes lease payments uncompetitive, scaring away the very customers who define the modern luxury market. Number 3. Buick, Chop by Nothburn at Dewey Boyne. Trapped in demographic limbo. Buick finds itself in an identity limbo so confusing it is decimating its market position. Today, that positioning is incoherent. Against a flood of sophisticated premium imports and crossovers, Buick's luxury credentials seem like a facade. The inventory tells the story, "Oh bimbash dans huidixon 9." Envision and Encore GX crossovers sit unsold for more than 90 days despite massive rebates, in some regions exceeding $6,000 per vehicle. Number 2. Nissan, the collapse of a powerhouse. Nissan's fall represents, honestly, one of the most dramatic brand destructions in modern automotive history. Once a reliable, value-driven powerhouse that went toe-to-toe with Toyota and Honda, it is now a case study in how cost-cutting eviscerates consumer trust. The most alarming metric is the collapse of resale value. A 3-year-old Altima is now worth roughly 20% less than an equivalent Camry or Accord. This devastates lease deals and signals to every potential buyer that the market has lost faith in the product's long-term worth. This devaluation is a direct result of systemic corner-cutting. Interiors have been cheapened, and the brand remains haunted by the reliability nightmares of its continuously variable, or CVT, transmissions, a problem spanning multiple generations. The consequence is, well, a catastrophic shift in word of mouth. Loyal owners have become vocal detractors, flooding forums and social media with warnings. As one dealer starkly admitted, "We are not just losing customers, we are creating anti-customers." Number 1. Chevrolet, America's icon in meltdown. The most shocking collapse is that of the brand that built America, Chevrolet. When America's heartland brand is practically giving cars away and still can't find buyers, it signals a systemic catastrophe. The desperation at Chevy dealerships is unprecedented, particularly around its electric vehicles. Dealers are discounting current model year EVs like the Bolt and Blazer by over $10,000, with some resorting to registering them as loaners to trigger incentives before selling them as used with only a few hundred miles. This isn't merely price sensitivity, it's a product rejection. Shoppers cite persistent software glitches, charging anxiety relative to the competition, and concerns over long-term battery health as absolute deal breakers. Crucially, the electric vehicle market itself is not collapsing. Tesla and others retain strong demand. Chevy's failure is uniquely its own, suggesting fundamental